Big time, everybody. John Luciano about to
Lucky!
brew solutions. We got Lucky in the building. Good thing to have Lucky in Vegas. Let's go. What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Fred Lenard's subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. And we have a special brew for you right now. We have the incredible from Street Volkswagen inside of Amarillo, Texas. The incredible, the one,
The only
John
Luciano.
You
That's
might
right.
know
Better
him
known as Lucky. You know the deal
Lucky's
because
in the
he is
building,
Lucky. We
everybody.
got him, man.
That's
The
right.
man, the myth, the legend, the legacy himself, man. We
Yes.
are so excited to have you on the show. But I wanted to say once more time. I wanted to say one more time to you, thank you
Yes,
for
thank you
hosting
so
us
much.
when we came into town.
No,
Getting
thank
to hang
you
out with you guys. And
It's
it was
still going
amazing.
on.
Well, we
Yeah,
appreciate
it's still
that.
happening at the store. Still talking about it.
Wow.
Really?
Well, we
Oh,
can't wait
that's
to come
awesome.
back again. You know,
We're still talking about what happened there.
We did too. Yeah.
We got so much footage from being there. Some of you haven't seen the big hats that Fred and I got. Well, maybe we got
gotta
pictures
see
of
the
us
big
in it.
hats.
You got to see that. And John
Yeah.
opened up a special can to show everybody what he can work with. But we'll put those out later on. We'll drop some of those beans as time goes on. But seriously, John, it's awesome that we just had the chance to be out there being treated like royalty. You absolutely hosted us amazingly, but your crew was another level. It's one thing, we already knew you. We knew you were awesome. We knew Ron G. We knew he was an awesome individual.
Absolutely.
It was another thing to see a whole bunch of awesomeness inside of all of your people. You have an incredible culture out there, and we're just so thankful for the atmosphere you set.
Exactly. Our little minions. We just have a great time. So we, as you guys saw, it's all about fun. It's all
It
about,
is.
Everybody's got to go to work. We got to produce money. We got to take care of our families. We got to work on our
Right.
communities. You got to do that. But making it fun, I think we all learned at young ages. If you find something you really love to do, then it's not work. And
No.
so we try and focus on that. And we, from time constraints to trying to work with our employees and trying to make it kind of fun and really make everybody feel important. And, we really focus on that pretty heavily because a lot of stores, you just lose sight of that. And it's kind of, and you hate to say the people at the lower levels because they're not really at the lower levels.
I know what you mean.
It's
though.
just kind of how that pyramid gets drawn, but it's so backwards of what it is. Ron and I will be out of the store pretty much this whole week, but the store will still happen. It'll rock,
Right,
it'll
it's gonna
roll,
move.
it'll do it because we've empowered those people. We've let them know their importance. If the operator doesn't come in and somebody doesn't come move the cars and they don't open the gates, we're not going to open. If I don't show up that morning, we still should open and everything should go along.
Wow.
So I'm just
Right.
support staff now at this point.
I love that.
You
And
wanna get
what they say about good leadership, what real leadership is how the dealership runs when you're not around.
Amen.
And when your dealership's running good and great, when you're not around, that means you're doing great things. A lot of people get caught up in when I'm not there, it's not running the same. Well, that's because you're not teaching them, you're not showing them, you're not encouraging them, empowering them like you do.
Right.
No,
I love
there's
that.
no question. And they really love to, if they have a great week while I'm gone, trust me, they enjoy rubbing that in my face. Hey, boss, you need to leave
Guess what?
more.
You need to leave
That's
more.
right,
bro.
Exactly.
Look here.
Like, you know what?
Look at
I think
these
that
numbers.
works.
Yeah.
Wow. You were here last week. Hey, here, look at us. and that's really makes
So
me
you know what?
happy.
I'm going to go ahead and do that.
That's exactly right.
I love
We're
that.
good to
That's
go.
awesome.
So-
I
That's
love that.
awesome.
And that's the kind of culture you want to have. You want people to feel like that they have worth and that they are. Everyone brings value from, like you said, from the top to the bottom, even though there really isn't no top and the bottom. There's just a food chain. That's all there is. But when you look at it, every integral part to include cleanup. I mean, you at your store, everyone was included. Everybody was smiling. Everybody was excited about being at work. He had no locked doors. As a matter of fact, really no doors in the whole building. You just
Barely
walked
any
in.
doors.
Just perimeter.
Seamless
No locks.
store.
It was incredible. The truth is that it's not just the way the building is set up, right? It's the actual atmosphere that's set by the attitudes of the people. They are walking around in full measures of gratitude, appreciative for the opportunity that they have, not just to do work together, but to do life and to contribute to the community.
Yeah,
You
that's true.
are so integrated into your community. You have so much of an impact on your community, and your community keeps everything cooking at the store too, right? Because of your hand in the community, your people walk with a different glow about them. It's not just winning the mission, it's winning the people of the community.
Yeah, and I think you guys got a taste of it when you were there, and we love being profitable, and we love taking care of our store. We love putting those dollars back in our community. I mean, It's one thing to say you should keep it all local, and then you don't, right? That's not good. And so we make sure that we make that very clear. And by doing that, that's allowing our employees to sit on boards or work with different community deals. We don't tell them which one. I'd love to, right? I mean, that would be cool. But then it's not theirs.
Right.
I want you go find something that touches your heart. So we have people from the United Way to helping kids to working with DHS, all the way across, right? If cancer is your passion, great. Let's do that. We're going to allow you a certain amount of hours per week. But when we hook up with one of these, with one of the, the charity groups that we want to work with, it's a lot different. We don't just give them money. And most of them at first were like, well, what do you mean? Well, what day is your event? Great. Okay, I'm going to send 6 people. I'm going to send a couple of 100 bottles of water, some ice chests, and some stuff. And then we're just going to kind of be there on the sidelines, and you just point and tell us what we can do. And they're like, oh my God, remember last year we didn't have anybody do this or do that. Great. That's us. We're those people to help you do it. And we just want to be involved. So go one step further. The checks are great, but a lot of times their event sometimes doesn't go off as well because they were understaffed, or they just, maybe they're early on doing it and they just don't understand that all those events, it's like you guys. You got to have that cheerleading. Somebody's got to be preaching it. And a lot of times coming from somebody other than the guy that maybe brought you the cause, hey, wow, this guy's really enthusiastic. I thought he had a Volkswagen store.
Right.
Well, he does have a Volkswagen store,
exactly.
but he's really passionate about this today, right? And we talked about that when you guys were in the store.
Absolutely.
About doing those things in the moment. You and I talked a little bit ago about going to sleep at night, give it back to God, let it be what it is, right? And then, let me know in the morning which ones are still really that important.
That's right.
So that they were making fun of me because of my hair, and I still have my hair.
Hey,
at 64 years old.
That's right. That's right.
Nice hair too.
That's right.
Nice
That's right. You got that good hair,
right? But that was part of it. It was just not laying there at night and just total stress. At some point, you got to accept the fact I was given this many hours in the day.
Right.
I touched as much as I could of it.
So true.
And you know what? Tomorrow, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do it again.
Yep.
He's not ever going to give me more than I can handle. And we're going to pay attention to that. And how can I bless somebody, right? How can I do something that helps somebody else? And boy, you'll find your days and your life will change immensely with just one little turn of a mindset, right?
Yeah,
it is. Mindset, language, the words that we speak, all the above, the energy that we put into this planet is what we're going to get back. God is very powerful, and He wants you to do things, but you have to be willing to be open for those things. When you're putting negative out, He's not going to give you back that positive. He's going to show you what positive looks like.
He'll give you negative,
but He's going to
somebody else.
You're going to see everyone else around you flourishing, but you got to understand that there is an energy involved there. There is something about giving, and one thing that I love about what you said a few moments ago about not just giving money. Don't write checks to people. It's good if you can do it, but at the same time, it's about the people. It's about giving them more, giving them opportunities, showing them ways that are beyond money. Because I think that people get caught up in, hey, I can't donate money. I don't have any money. But donate your time. Yeah. Go out and do some stuff. Go show up. And even just if you're there, like Lou and I like to go around these conferences and high five everybody. Even just doing that in a room, going around and high fiving them, that energy changes it.
You don't know when that's just going to make somebody's day.
Right.
They're just having a rough day. And the last 5 people that have walked by, they've given them a hand, but not a high five.
That's right.
More down to a finger. Those kind of deals. And yours was the other, like, hey, buddy, are you okay? Sometimes just asking somebody, are you okay?
Oh, that's so
I'm just
true.
having a tough day. Well, they all won't be tough. And is there anything I could do right now to maybe help that day?
Exactly.
There's really not, but God, I really appreciate you. One of the things that we really do is if we get involved in some of the groups, and what we really enjoy is, okay, we're going to come in. Can we chair it? Can we chair this event this time? I mean, would that be okay? We'll do it for nothing.
That's right.
Well, really, okay. What's the most you've ever raised? What's been your best one?
Let's go.
Okay, now here's our goal, folks.
Right.
Even if it's $1.
Yeah.
Right. Here's our deal. Were you able to fulfill everything you needed to fulfill with what that made? No, we were a little short, and they're all always short because they want to help more people. All right, good. Let's get involved. Let's go sell it. Let's tell them what it's going to be, and then take our store, right? Take our social media, take our people and feed it in there.
Love
right?
that.
And you'll be surprised. I mean, just an old trade secret that probably shouldn't be said, but our market share is so high, and you guys saw when we were in Amarillo, because we kind of guilt you into doing business with us.
Hey.
We supported you.
Right.
I mean, I have people tell me all the time, hey, I really don't even know Volkswagens, and I swore I'd never drive one, but I kind of gotta buy one, man. You guys, you saved me. You turned this.
Yeah.
You helped us out.
You got my kids' jerseys.
Yeah, I've been to
right?
9 events in the last 2 weeks,
Right.
and you guys were
We're
at every
the-
one
we're
of them.
yeah.
How can I not?
Mhm.
Right?
That's big.
And that's it. So if you ever can turn it to not be about the money,
Oh
Mhm.
man.
right, and make it about time, and make it about and pour some things back into your employees, you'll be surprised what they're willing to do, rather than go, I got
What
22
you
You
got? Yeah,
gotta
I
hurry
got-
up and get
Let
out
me
of
start
here.
cleaning up my
No,
desk a little
no,
bit.
No, it's hard to get them to leave, right? It's hard to get them to take their days off
Absolutely.
when they're having that
Facts.
much fulfillment inside of what they're doing.
That's
And
so true.
and I love being able to have the conversation about faith and integrating into the way that we operate. The thing is that faith without works is dead.
Amen.
But we have to be faithful rulers of what it is that we get. So those that are faithful with little, they'll be rulers over much. You all have been faithful to different levels, and it's kept stretching until now. You have blessing pouring in back and forth from great people to come work with you to being able to do great feats inside of the community. What has it been like being able to now share that? Because this is not a hypothetical thing. You're proving this out. You're
Right.
proving that you can be successful, reaching into your community generously, like ridiculously generously.
And be nice to people.
Right. And have
Wow.
fun doing
What
it.
a
What
weird
a con- what a
concept.
concept.
Yeah.
But what does it
Really?
feel like to start seeing the dealers that are starting to say, hey, how do I do that? How do I get involved like you are?
We get really excited when you guys came to our store and you got a piece of it. But we've hosted, I'd have to count and really go back to it, but we've probably hosted 14 to 16 Volkswagen dealers that have
Wow.
come strictly to the store
That's right.
because they were about half of them were thinking about buying one, and they were talking to Volkswagen. Yeah, well, I want to see one really in action because I'm not seeing how you can do it. You don't have a truck, and how do you make money? And I get the call, hey, if we put a deal together, would you host these people in Amarillo? We love our neighborhood. We love our
Mhm.
city. And we are just like, oh, absolutely.
That's
And we have
awesome.
done some crazy things like having horses in the service drive and kind of, we always want them to leave with something in their mind that says, that seems so corny and so stupid, but wow, people are still talking about it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that's it. And so we focus our advertising and our mindset is kind of, what can we do that just keeps you top of mind?
Wow.
Mhm.
And luckily, 30 years ago, I worked for some guys and we partnered up together, and we started realizing we really got to quit looking at day to day, because boy, that's all it was. You had your log, you desked your deal, you put it there, and then you pounded that guy for the next days and days until it was done, and then you ended the month and wow, we did great, and then it all started over.
Yes.
And we said, but what if you look to try and make your year pretty steady, got off of the roller coaster ride, and you even thought about maybe the next couple of years, and you looked back and said, okay, you know what? I don't look as employees as an expense anymore.
Right.
What if they were our asset? What if
Yes,
they were our
they are.
only asset
Hey,
on the right side
That's
of the financial statement,
Mhm.
and we quit treating them like brick and mortar? Wow, what would that feel like? And then
Wow.
you start looking at it going, okay, instead of, I cannot believe we can't have 60 people, man, it's too much. We're paying too much payroll taxes. We're doing this. We got to cut back.
Mhm.
Instead of saying, hey, what if we could handle 80 employees and we changed their lives, and their kids went to college and they got to do things that maybe their parents didn't get to do,
hey,
and we worked
that's
with them financially and talked about things. What would that do to us, and what would that do to the community? Is that a really long-term plan? He's 2, but wait till he's 16 and he gets a car, right? Is that? And we start thinking, how far out can you look? And we realize you can't look too far.
Mm.
It can't happen. And I still remember, talking about things, and I tell my team all the time, I still remember my first sales meeting at Rudolph Chevrolet in El Paso, Texas, right?
Wow.
1979. I
Woo!
mean,
What a good
true,
year.
I'm only on the floor. I'm not in the back of the store anymore. I'm not washing cars. I'm not delivering cars. A real sales meeting, and just terrified. I can still tell you who was in the
Terrifying.
meeting. I
Terrifying.
can tell you what was said, right? And we still have those meetings today.
Hey.
Right?
Mhm.
So you guys have put the math together. Yes, it was 40 plus years ago. And I still love the business just as much today. It is a great industry.
It
And
is.
I love what you guys, the reason that we fell in love with you two so much after I saw you in Florida was because you are doing exactly what I've always wanted to do. is we are a really cool industry. Buying a car is a really cool thing and can be such a life-changing, but it's been such a terrifying thing up until now. And so for you guys to do these podcasts and find people and talk to people that say, folks, it's okay. Be excited about going to buy a car. That's what we want to turn it into, right?
I love that.
You know, I remember getting my first car. That was a long time ago, 65 Chevrolet pickup. Right? Long time. But hey,
but you know wish what? You still had that.
That was a new car to me at that time. And I started working on it and fixing it up, and it turned next car to next car. And that's what got me doing what I'm doing now. But I love that. I love working with our families. I get people a lot that say, hey, you know, I'm really thinking my 16-year-old. I'm really thinking, you know, a Wrangler. Guys, I don't want to be Debbie Downer here, and I let you do realize, you know, not the safest vehicle for your first driver to feel when the roof's off. Really not, you know, certain things we talk about, and they're kind of like, you know, that's a good point. Maybe get one and as a second car, but I don't know that needs to be a first car.
I agree with that.
About those things.
Yeah, once I get some experience.
Yeah, your son, he wants a GTI. Well, what is he going to do? Well, you know, he still rides horses and he does stuff. Okay. Where's the saddle going to go? So he's going to borrow your truck every weekend? Oh, no. I'm not going down that program anymore. You're right. He needs a Tacoma. Okay. But we try and teach our people. The last thing I ever want to do is sell you a car that you don't like or you're not happy with.
Right. You know what? I love that because it's about the people before profits. It's about the relationships before revenue. But it's most importantly, it's seeking to understand this way that they can understand us, right? And when you do that, you ask questions, you learn, and you really find out what they need. You know, because a lot of people come in with things that they want, but they realize that those things that they want are not what they really need. Just like you just said, I love that was a great example of saying, hey, yeah, your kid rides horses and all this stuff. How is he going to carry his equipment around? You know, it's impossible. Right. So it's more logical for you to look at something like this. Let's not put them in something on their very first vehicle like a Jeep Wrangler, because so many reasons why that's not a good idea, to where you can have them earn that. Let them do a couple of years of driving in this vehicle, and then we could turn them into that vehicle later, right? We could show them how to do that affordably. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're professionals. We're supposed to diagnose what it is and then show them what their best path purchase is for them. And I think that's great that you guys do that at your store. I've talked to all your managers. They're phenomenal. They're amazing. You have a lot of veterans sitting up front. And I love that. Salute to all the veterans out there. We appreciate all y'all's services.
We love it.
I know you do. And you love your veteran community.
I mean, the whole management staff, that whole desk section, all of them right there. All
we were all
standing at attention. Right? We're sitting there going side by side.
But what I love about them is that they understand process.
Yes.
And that there is a process that has to happen. But it doesn't mean that you have to be so rigid that you can't think of any other ideas. I know that you guys don't do that. I know that people bring you ideas all the time and you let them run with it. If it's something they're passionate about. And that is big.
Go write a book.
Right. Yeah, man. What I could tell you is this.
Write an Amazon bestseller.
No doubt. And what I can say about you is that your legacy it's out there. And a lot of people know who you are. They talk about you. They talk about how you help them along the way. A lot of people I consider great folks in this industry, which lets me know how. And you know what? You're doing a great job with it. And it's still just the beginning for you. You have a lot more to give. And I know that. I know how much work you're putting into this industry and how far you want to go with it. And I can tell that you're not going to ever stop until it's time to stop. But I don't think that's anytime soon. I see you being part of our industry, being an innovator in our industry for a long time. And I'm so honored that I get to call you a friend.
Absolutely.
That I get to spend time with you and I get to learn from you and just be poured into. It's very exciting for me because this industry is great. The people in it are great, and I have the greatest job in the industry. I get to interview great people that come on my show, and I get to ask questions and learn about them and learn how I could be great one day. You know, and that's what I'm trying to do.
There was an amazing question this morning, and I really wanted to answer it differently, and I didn't answer it, and I kind of left it alone. But the question was, I mean, how do you know when to get rid of a vendor? Did you catch that this morning?
I did. You know, and we just talked about it.
What do you look for? Do you look at it as based on ROI? Do you look at it based on sales or whatever? And, you know, I think it was a much more simpler answer. The day that you call them a vendor instead of a partner, that's the day.
We actually just quoted you saying that the show right before this.
I mean, that's
literally quoted that.
Yeah, you guys are our partners. You're not a vendor. You're right. A vendor's a guy you send checks to and you wonder whether it's happening or not. I shouldn't have to. I love the fact that they do all the analytics. That one group that talked about they have a giant room that does nothing but analytics all day. Wow. You know, I'm hoping that we have partners that they have that core inside saying, hey, I'm not worried about it. I know I'm doing the best for them. I'm putting it out there. I call and talk to them.
Yeah.
You know, one of the other guys in the pitch tank was that, hey, you know, we only go to 10 people, so you're going to be able to call that guy directly. Well, I mean, that sounds really great, but if that guy doesn't know what he's doing or he's not good at it, it doesn't matter that he has 2 or 20.
It does not matter at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, are they partners, right? Do you have we exchanged phone numbers. We've ridden around. We've talked. We've met wives, and
I've been on your boat.
Yeah, we've been on a boat. We're having a good time there.
It's a little small 23-foot boat.
Right,
it's pretty
it's
awesome.
the usual dealer boat.
Lake. It was
The lake's
beautiful.
3 miles long. We went
It's
around it
perfect.
3
It's
times.
the perfect.
John called in the perfect moon for the night.
Yeah.
Right. The perfect weather.
He did.
Right. We had it all just like lined
Made
up.
sure it was set up for
Just
us
right.
to be able to go out on a
we're
nice
like,
cruise.
We're like the third windiest city in the country, whatever. You guys come, and we didn't even move.
Yeah.
We turned it off
was
and just
beautiful.
sitting there
Like,
talking.
okay.
We were
It
right
was
where
awesome.
I'd never seen it that
It
color.
was
It
an
was
amazing
awesome.
night, and
But
it
that
was a
was- that
pleasure.
was great.
Really
But
was
the
a pleasure.
conversation was
It
spectacular.
was.
my
It was
Getting to
spectacular.
talk about my lovely wife and
Oh, yeah.
what she does, and what's been great is by what I could do through the car business, and those blessings that we've had monetarily wise has allowed her to be a big part of Young Life,
Yes.
all the way up to the top, and allows us to work in a ministry with kids
Amen.
and try and
What
try
a big
and
thing.
boy, especially with the pressures that are on them today.
Yep.
Guys, if you're going to look at charities and you're going to look for somebody to help, go look for some of those that are working with kids probably between 12 and 19 years old.
Yes.
I agree.
And helping them get a concept of what the world really is,
Oh,
not what they've learned by staring at the phone all day or
That's
whatever.
We're
right.
about to meet it.
Yeah,
We're about to go into it.
Yeah,
and that's how you make an
crazy.
impact in the
Yes.
future. Our future leaders, those are our future leaders.
They're
my
there.
friends.
We
Yeah,
will
we're
have to
gonna-
depend on them at some
Yes.
point.
We
At some
will.
point.
So let's make sure we pour into them. Let them know that
Yes.
we care.
Thank you.
Let them know of different ways to be successful in life.
Right.
They only see one perspective a lot of times, and it's a sad perspective. Let's
Well-
show them some light and let's show them some love.
Yeah, and it's not all money.
No,
And-
it's
and
definitely
we're
not money.
getting- It
It's
was
not
huge in
definitely
the
not money.
70s when I was a kid. I mean, it was all about go to college so you can get the 6-figure job or the 70. Everything was in dollars,
Yeah.
and it was so bad. I mean, even if you left 3 asparagus on your plate, I mean, you were told, "Hey, there's $1 worth of asparagus."
That's
there.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
Everything had a
For
monetary
real.
connotation to it,
For real.
and it was really bad. And helping them understand, maybe it's not 4-year college, maybe it's trade school, right?
Right.
But find something you love. The money will come, and you'll find that balance in life. And some of these kids, they just think that they're going to invent something or something's going to happen, and they're going to get to be, just millionaires.
The
You know,
next
in my-
Elon Musk,
yeah,
right?
in my
Maybe.
30s,
and they might be. Who knows,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But John, there's something about you, and this is we wouldn't be honoring our platform properly if we didn't make sure that we gave something for those of you that are watching this live or watching it on the replay. You have somebody here that is literally leading in a way that we want to show so much honor to, because you care about developing people, whether it's kids inside of a stage of their life or the people that get to work with you, and you're not afraid to develop them past you. And that is a part that we honor so
I want
much.
them all,
We're
dude.
talking about a bestseller, Amazon bestseller, right? Ron, it doesn't have anybody saying, "Hey, I don't want you to be distracted from doing your duties. Hey, I want you to focus on being the best version of you." Not
That's
the,
right,
"Hey, are
man.
you going to take
So
away from
right.
my business, or what do I have to give you while you're here?" You have the big saying inside of your room that says every day means every day.
And I've been using
right?
that a lot, just so,
So
you know. I
much.
stole that. I've been
Every
using
day,
it in all my
every day.
sales training
Dave-
meetings and everything.
Dave Anderson, who's just a great speaker, if you ever get the chance. Dave's the one that brought that to us when he came, and we really bought into it. And, you're exactly right. And I think what we try and teach is you're never too old to learn it.
Hey,
Right?
that's
And,
so
and
true.
you guys met Jerry,
Yes.
right? And so when Jerry and Sammy, when they first went to work for us, man, they're just old school dogs, and they just want to be out on the lot, slam, bam, get them into finance, get them gone. Nope, you still got to put them in the CRM. No, boss,
Oh, come
can
on.
I just get somebody to do that? And slowly but surely, as they bought in, now all of a sudden they're selling twice as many cars. They're not working as hard, and we look like we're pretty smart,
Right.
out of nowhere.
For real. For
right? And
real.
so treating people a little bit different. But you're exactly right. I mean, what we really truly believe is, and I think we talked about this when we were at the store. If you come in and you truly passionately tell me that you're going to change careers or you're going to go here, we truly find out how can we help you do it. Because what's good for you is good for me.
Yes, it is.
If your heart is not with us 100%, and this is not where you want to be, and I don't care where you are in the stages of your life, you need to look at this.
Mhm.
Because somewhere along the way, every day that you're not doing what you want and you're not able to put your head on the pillow and just say, thank you, Lord, it was a great day.
Yes.
Thank you for letting me do what I did, and may I have a few more hours tomorrow.
That's
Right,
please.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
please.
Right.
Right. But if you're not at that stage and you're just all of a sudden you're looking at your watch, it's 4:00 in the morning, and you're like, oh man, I don't want to get up. I don't want to go in. We tell our employees, please, you got to come to us right off the bat
Oh.
if you ever feel that way. So we can look at it. How can I make a change and we've moved a lot of people around the store. And you guys have met Brad Pascal. You know
Yeah.
Brad.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Love
been on
Brad,
your
love
show.
Brad.
Brad was incredible in the store. Was doing a great job, but you could tell very early on, Brad was never going to be happy in that role. Right? Brad's
Right.
too much of a people person. He wants to be out there. He wants to be involved. He wants to do lots of things. Well, that's not going to be afforded in what he was doing.
Right.
So when he
Thank you.
came to us and said, "Hey, I have an opportunity to do this," awesome.
Go for it.
How can we
Right.
help? How can
so-
I make that happen? Sure. Is it hard on us at the store? You're going, man, God, I got. He carries a lot of hats, right? I got to find somebody to do that. That's okay. That's life, right?
That's right.
We'll find that. But it also, as somebody sees you do that, then somebody beneath that level is going to step up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I
you got to
know.
give them space to
I
do
told
it.
you, my one of my receptionists is now my controller.
Right
If that's
on.
not the biggest step you've
Right.
ever
That's
heard,
huge.
right?
Uh-huh.
From that to that, and become a controller. And then David Mraz, who you've met, who runs all
yeah.
my marketing.
I love him.
David
Love
got
him,
his
love
degree in
him.
marketing.
Super
None of us
smart
really,
guy, man. Wow.
none of us really knew it, right? And he was sitting in the BDC making calls and doing that, and all of a sudden, kind of all hell broke loose, and the website got hacked, and things were going on, and we've got people on the phone telling us what we need to do.
He's like,
You
guys,
need to do this. You need to clear this. You got to go in and do this. And of course, none of us had any idea. And he keeps pulling on my shirt, pulling on my shirt. And finally, I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I can do all that."
like, oh yeah,
What? Dude, you can do what? Yeah, hang up. I'll fix it.
done.
Okay, dude. Now guess what your job is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes we have the blinders on
That's
and we
right.
lose sight of the talent that's within your store. Are you looking for it? Are they in the right
Come on.
position?
Right.
Man.
Yeah. Are they just getting through? Nothing makes me sadder than to watch somebody get through life.
Come on,
man.
come
It's
on.
just-
I couldn't
it's
agree
so-
more.
It's
Come on.
so hard, and I have those conversations, and it's really funny because sometimes I just kind of call you in the office, and you think you're in trouble, and then that conversation changes to, what's happened? What's going on in your world? Why? What'd you hear? I didn't hear anything.
No.
I just noticed you.
Right.
Your walk's a little different.
Sure.
You used to be the 745 guy. Now you're the 801 guy. I mean,
Yeah.
what has happened? Well, I'm upside down here. I got behind here. My mom got okay, great. And so we have street sense. That's a whole nother conversation of things that we do. We do a lot for the community, but we also are constantly putting money away and putting ourselves in position to help employees too.
That's
'Cause
big.
For a while we weren't paying as much attention to that, and then they're kind of like, well, yeah, they help everybody else.
Right.
So
Right.
Right.
you got to do a little bit of that of both, and then reach out into that. It's a whole separate committee in the store. It's super quiet. You come to us, we don't talk about it, but we're prepared for it. And everybody contributes a little bit of money each month,
Love it.
and we double it up and we back it because you know what? Think back. Have you been there?
Oh yeah, I've definitely been.
Have you? Okay, I can grab anybody out
Yeah,
here.
say,
Have you
yep.
been there?
We've all
Anybody?
been
Yeah,
there.
I've had that where
Mhm.
how am I going to get through the first? I'm not going to make rent. I had to do this. The kid, my kid's disappointed, wants to, cheerleading camp or whatever it is. And I know we made it last year, but gosh, this year we just had the steps. Okay, I want to hear those stories too.
Mhm.
Let's talk about it. How do I get your mindset back?
Right.
So are
Big
you,
deal.
and it seems like a lot, and I know we've talked about a lot.
Mhm.
If you're doing it every day, it's not a lot.
Right.
Every
Come
day
on.
means
Yeah,
every
right.
day. It's
Yeah,
actually
every day.
simple
Right,
because
every
it
day.
is what you do. It's your MO. It's just the way nature is there.
It's not a change.
And I love that. And it starts from the top.
And culture's
Fish-
still a good word.
Right. It is a
This
great
morning
word.
they tried to run
They
away.
try to
They-
mess with it.
David and I were on
Culture's
way two different terms
So important.
there because
I
yeah,
love
maybe
David
the
Villa.
word's been around too much and been talked about too much. I get it, and
But it's necessary that culture is right. That energy at the store, whatever you want to call it, it needs to be at that type of level. It's about family. Once again, it goes back to it truly being family because family will come to you when they need help. But if they just feel like they're just people that work for you, they may not because they're too scared to. So you got to be open. You got to have those doors that are not locked. You got to have people that are in the front, in the back, bottom to top. Everyone is on one mission, rowing in the same direction. And John, man, I love you guys for it. You guys are crushing it out there. I'm so glad.
Thank you so much
No, thank you
for
so
taking
much.
the time and pouring yourselves into us. And you
Absolutely,
guys have,
absolutely.
and we hope that we reciprocate. And
Oh, you did.
You definitely did.
I got to
100%.
put in one plug for you guys.
Okay.
I wasn't sure when you guys kind of called and said, "Hey, could we come to your store and do the deal?" And I was like, "Well, yeah. I mean, that kind of sounds like fun." Now looking back, wishing I had done it so much sooner. So I'm just this is a quick plug for these guys. if your store is a little kind of down, but you know you still got all the right people, and you're looking to just hold a pep rally, your pep rally was incredible.
Thank you.
They're still talking about it. If you guys have the time, reach out to these two.
Wow.
It'll be the best money that you spend in a long time. And I
Wow.
promise you, these guys come in and it's 6 a.m. to midnight. It's
all
not
day.
like you guys weren't like any other vendor I've dealt with in that type of fashion. They all come in and they want to just tell you how to do it or give you a book. You guys didn't give them anything. There was no handouts. There was no writtens. It was, hey, get your phone. Let's do it. Let's get the pictures. Let's get the high fives. Let's get the call. And every one of them took a little nugget somewhere.
Wow.
And a lot of it went home to them,
Oh,
right?
that's even better.
Family-wise, much better.
Yes,
Oh,
way
love
better.
that.
Way
That's
better.
So
Yeah.
much more impactful.
Fix that
Yes.
home life. You'll fix
Right.
their work life.
Oh.
Exactly. All day.
100%
All
time.
day.
Promise.
100%.
And that's why we want to be such a family store. We do a lot. We just did a golf tournament. We do a lot of
You
stuff
guys do.
just to
Yeah,
get.
you
And,
guys
lead
and
the
we
way,
want to
man.
meet.
John,
We
that
want to meet them. So
that
thank
means
you guys.
so much to us. Thank you
Wow.
so much.
Oh,
Because
I
really, we
can't
want to
wait
make
do it
sure
again.
that we do get to pour out something. And ultimately, there were plenty of. You guys took some great notes. They took a couple pages of good notes.
But they took notes. You
They
didn't
took-
hand them things.
Right, exactly, which is the key. You have to write it down, folks, if
Yeah.
you're going to make it happen. But, John, we keep talking about this family, and I love these F words, especially the one thing that we want to make sure that your family got over at Street Volkswagen is the 3 Fs, and that's to forgive, focus, and fly so that we can keep growing.
That's
That's
right.
the message, folks, and that's what we're spreading all over the place. Whether you're in Amarillo or Las Vegas, we want to forgive, focus, fly so
That's
that we
right.
can keep growing with legends like Lucky.
That's
So
right.
let's get ready to rock out and forgive, focus, fly on 3, nice and loud and proud. 1, 2, 3, forgive, focus,
fly, and keep growing, keep growing.
That's right, everybody.
guys.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Man, you knocked that
High
out.
five to you.
Killed that. Car
Thanks.
guys and car gals, we have been having an incredible time at Digital Dealer. This is day 1, everybody.
Day 1.
And we are just getting started. This pot is getting hot, and you need to come get you some of it. We are at 933 in the place to be. And I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Fred Lenart, subprime hero.
And we have been brewing with the incredible, the one,
the only, John Luciano. That's
You can
right.
call him Lucky.
Thank you, guys.
That's right.
We appreciate you all. Stay tuned because there's plenty more where that came from. We
See
out.
you soon.
Peace.
Bye-bye.